Welcome in. Can you guys hear me?
Huh?
I said, turn the volume up. You can't hear me?
Hold on.
I can hear you.
Oh, perfect. And Mr. J. Let's see. Hopefully I do this right.
I can hear you.
Oh, perfect. And Mr. J. Let me turn my phone down. But Jay's not coming up. So what does that mean? Oh, there he is.
Testing, testing.
Testing. Hey,
Are we live or no?
Hey,
we're
Les.
live.
Hey, yeah.
Hi, how are you?
One day at a time. You know how it is.
Hey, I hear that. Yeah, we're live.
Okay.
I wanted to make sure. And then we have one more guest coming. So we just gonna relax and take it easy. And we just gonna do some chit chatting and see what we could bring to the table. Welcome in Triple Threat. Thank you so very much for joining us.
Greetings, everybody in the chat.
Yeah.
Hey, Jay.
Yeah, sister.
Welcome in, Cynthia. Cynthia says, I'm about to get set up so I can listen in. Perfect.
Hey, Cynthia, triple threat. Miss T with the T.
Yeah, Miss T with the T was in early and she put her comment in early. She said, can't wait. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Dazzy V.
Odom stopped in early as well. He said he was busy, but he's going to catch the replay.
Okay.
And thank you so much, Jay. You've been in. You were here early as well.
No problem.
Yeah. Oh, hey, can you guys test this for me and see? If not, I'm going to turn Nightbot off. Can you type Yaya and see if it drops you guys' links for me, Lashes and Jay? If it acts up or starts timing people out, then I'll cut it off. Welcome in, Jazzy V. Thank you so very much for joining us. Hello. Okay, wait a minute. Let me see what I'm doing. Y'all know I'm a little nervous today.
It's okay. It's one chat at a time.
Okay. Am I showing? Okay, that's Jay's. And then welcome in Patty Southern Kitchen and More. Thank you so very much. She says, hello, Yaya and panelists. And my husband is in the chat as well, THTD White. He says hi to everybody.
Greetings.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, welcome in, Angela, Canvas Delight. Thank you so very much for joining us. I appreciate you coming in. We got some good information that will be shared today. So thank you guys all for joining and stopping in. I hope everybody's having a wonderful, wonderful day. Let's see. I'm here in Florida. So we had sunshine. It's a little cool, and I think it's cooler than it was last year. It's not that mugginess is not going on, but we had sunshine, so that's a great thing. How's the weather where you are, Lashes?
The weather is great. I think it's like 79 today.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
It was like going to be 81 here today. And how about you, Jay?
Oh, everything is beautiful here in Southern California. It's about
Oh,
80.
okay. I wasn't sure where you are. You're in California. Oh my goodness. I'm from the Pacific Northwest, from Seattle, Washington, but I live in Florida now.
Okay, beautiful.
Yeah.
Retirement state. I see you, and that's why your skin looks so glowy.
Oh, that's so nice.
Thank you, Jay.
I'm trying to be like Lashes. I did have my carrot juice this morning. While I was on her live this morning, I made my carrot juice. So yeah.
Awesome.
I hope you put a little ginger in there.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I did. I put
and I hope you got that recipe from my page.
Well, I do have a lot from your page, and so yeah, I'm always snooping around trying to figure out how to make the best juices. So
Okay, that's what's up.
yes, welcome in. Let's see what we have. Urban Gardening. Thank you so much. She says, "Hey, Lashes and Juicing with Jay."
Hey, Urban, how's it going?
Hey, Urban, how are you, sis? Hello, everyone.
Thank you for joining, Grandmama Grows. Thank you. Oh, G Mama Grows.
Hey, Mama,
Pardon me.
going?
Yeah, G Mama. Thank you so much for joining.
Can't stop walking.
Yeah.
You
Can't
knew.
stop walking, but love to mow.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for joining. Welcome in, you new. Thank you for joining. Oh, okay. I see. Sorry about that, Robin.
Ooh, okay, it was fine.
I got to looking at the chat. So yeah. Now see. Now look at this. Okay. Well, it is after 5 o'clock. I always like to value people's time. And I had told the panelists we probably would be on for about an hour by the time we do some chit chatting and stuff here. So those in the chat, feel free if you have any questions or comments, keep them coming. I'll try to catch them as best I can. And I want to welcome in Lashes Journey, and I'll let her introduce herself if she wants to use whatever name she wants to use. And also welcome in Juicing with Jay. Thank you guys so very much. And my good friend from the Pacific Northwest, Robin, thank you so very much for joining.
No problem.
I look at Lashes' page. I followed her journey, and I followed Juicing with Jay when I started several months ago wanting to juice. And so that's how I found Juicing with Jay. And my good friend, Robin, we've known each other for years. And so we've always worked on our lifestyle changes. And so she's here to share some of her experiences and journeys that she has been on as far as healthy eating. So welcome, you guys. I thank you guys so very much for being willing to join me today and bring this to the table, because I think it's so important. And a lot of it for me is because as we get older, you know, there were things that happened from my own personal experience, and I knew I needed to change the way that I was eating. And when I first came onto YouTube or whatever, my son was like, "Hey, Mom, I want you to go check out these mukbang channels." I was like, "What the heck is mukbang or whatever?" And I found out it was eating. So I'm like, okay, well, I can feed my face. I'm good at that. So not a problem. And after about a year of that, I was like, okay, I can't keep doing these challenges and eating all this food and stuff. And then I had some health issues that came about. So it's like, okay, I got to do better. But as you come into the journey of YouTubing, you find what niche you want to be in. I'm so happy to have found Juicing with Jay and to have found Lashes, because they bring something different to the table than I had expected to be looking at. Also, that with the gardening community, I love, you know, being a part of the gardening community as well. So with all of that said, that's what has brought me to today. And I'm gonna turn it over to them and let them tell you their stories. So I don't know, does anyone particular want to go first?
I'll go first, since this is a
Okay.
very beautiful situation with three ladies. So, you know, ladies usually go first, but I'll just go get it out the way since I'm the only man here today.
And I wanted you here on purpose because I wanted to have that perspective too. And a lot of men, and my husband's in the chat as well, and he's not a fan of plant-based and all of that. And if you guys have watched some of our videos, y'all hear him, because on Monday and Wednesdays, you know, we do healthy eating now, or I try to make something vegan or plant-based, and he's not all happy with Yaya about that. So I did want to have a male perspective on juicing and you know, find out what your thoughts are. So I am going to turn it over to you, Jay.
Okay, so my journey started about 10 years ago, and it started out of basically vanity. I went from about 150, 160 pounds to over 250 something pounds. And, just being a man, and a handsome man at that, you can't be handsome with a big belly hanging in front of you. And so I said, oh, wow. Like, like I said, it was totally out of vanity. So for me, it was a eye-awakening moment when they call you Skinny J to Fat J. So I was Skinny J, now I'm Fat J. And I said Fat J, but at this time, you really can't see the weight like really gather on you.
That's true.
Jay, are you there? Somehow we disconnected. Welcome in, you new. And Miss B and fam, welcome in. I'm not sure what happened with the audio. Oh, okay, it's on mute, unmute. You might have to go, oh, he went out, yeah, and come back in. So let's give him a chance to come back in. And Robin, there you are back. Jay. We have you back. I hope it's nothing I'm doing on my end. Do we have you back, Jay? What did I do? No. I hear him, but it's not coming across. I'm not sure what's happening, but I'm gonna give Jay some time to, or if it's something I'm doing, put it in the chat and let me know. I'm not clicking on anything. I see you, but we're not hearing you.
Are you adding him to the stream?
Did I hide? I hope I didn't
Add
add
him.
him. Oh,
Okay.
I'm sorry, my bad.
Oh, no problem.
That's me. I should have known. Go ahead with your story.
So for me, it was more of, when people started to point out my weight gain was when I started to kind of really look in the mirror. You really don't know how far you have gone until people start to mention it. It's kind of also like when you're in the process of losing weight. You don't know how much you've lost until someone said, oh my God, you look skinny, or oh my God, you look like you've been doing X, Y's, and Z's. So
Right.
that was kind of my situation in reverse. So I tried all kinds of different diets, the lemonade, water, cayenne, starving yourself diet. I tried, at the time I was eating meat. So I was trying to do this, mostly protein-based diet. It was always some type of diet that didn't work. I was going to the gym, but I never really played like organized sports. So I was just kind of doing what I saw my friends doing inside the gym. And so that didn't work for me. It wasn't until I started reading and watching a lot of documentaries that things started to click for me. I had to learn about my body. I had to learn about basically my eating habits, my system of things. And I basically had to go back to what I learned from my grandmother, which was to eat natural foods, whole food. So when that happened, I was still eating meat at the time. I was watching a whole bunch of documentaries, but the one documentary that was very powerful to me was a documentary which I've mentioned in Lash's lives before, was a documentary called Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. And even though I wasn't as heavy as the guy, Joe Cross, in the video, I felt that what he was doing, I would be able to do, which he was juicing. He He did juicing for 60 days straight, 100% fresh natural juices for 60 days straight, and he lost a lot of weight. And not only that, he was able to reverse some of the issues that he had health wise going on. At the time, I didn't have anything health wise going on. I was just fat sick. I wasn't nearly dead, but I didn't realize that some of the things that weight gain brought with it, like the sleep apnea, I had headaches that were they were like beyond migraine headaches, that the type of headaches where you would just sit in your bed and cry with all the lights off and things of that nature. So even though I wasn't in a bad position like the guy from Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, I dedicated myself and I said, you know what? I can go ahead and do this, but I would do a modified version of it. And before I go further, I'm not a health expert. This is just my journey and what I did. And I also posted something on my YouTube page when I first started the journey about why I started to juice. So I'm just reiterating that I'm not a health expert. This is just my personal journey. So so I started juicing, but what I did at the time, I juiced pretty much for the whole. I ate one meal. I ate one meal at the end of the day, which always consists of a salad and some type of grilled chicken, and a salad. But I juiced for the whole day. In about 3 weeks, I noticed that I lost. In about 3 weeks, I lost over 25 to 30 pounds just from no exercise. I wasn't even exercising. I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't walking. I wasn't doing anything. Just by changing my diet, I was able to lose that that poundage. So from there, I started watching a lot more documentaries like Knife Over Fork, uh, Game Changers. There are a whole bunch of documentaries that are on YouTube, access for free, a whole bunch of documentaries that you can access on Netflix. So I started watching a lot of those documentaries and reading at the same time. And everything that I read, everything that I watched came to one conclusion. And the conclusion was that the food that we have today is not the food of yesterday.
Absolutely.
You know, high fructose corn syrup, MSG, all these other additives that are now in the food, our body can't break it down the way that we would break down the natural sugars and the natural salts that we had once upon a time. Now we have the high fructose corn syrup and we have the MSG and all other man-made synthesized things that we are now putting into our body that we're doing now that wasn't done about 20 years ago. So I realized that our food system was basically poisoning me. I was a part of the poisoning system and I had to make a change. So I went on a cruise about 2013. On that cruise, everything that I learned from the documentaries and from my reading was manifesting itself on the cruise. They talked about how we don't respect the food and how food is so instant. Like we snap our fingers and food is readily available for us. We're not hunter gatherers anymore. We're not doing the type of things that would require our bodies to burn a lot of calories for us to get our food. So we could just drive into this, drive into that, Uber eat this, Uber eat that, Dash, DoorDash, and food. We don't even have to leave our house anymore to get the food, but it's the quality of food. So on the cruise, I noticed that it was, you could eat whatever you want, you could throw away whatever you want, you could eat again, you could do this, you could do that, but the food didn't taste good to me on the cruise. The only thing that tastes good to me on the cruise, because at this time my palate had already changed from eating all the junk food and eating fast food and all that other stuff. My palate had already changed into something a little bit different. I wanted better quality food. My body required better quality food. So the only thing that I was able to eat on the cruise ship for the 7 days that I was on there was a vegetarian dish. It was an Indian garbanzo beans. What do they call the garbanzo beans again? And
Chickpea.
the chickpea. It was a chickpea vegan vegetarian meal, and that was the only thing that I could really enjoy on the ship. I couldn't wait to get off the ship to go to one of the islands where there was like real food on the islands. You know, I went to St. Thomas, St. Kitts, and I told the drivers, hey, take me where the real food is at. So they took me to where real food was being cooked, and you could taste the difference from the food that you ate on the island versus the food that you ate on the ship. When I left that ship, I told myself that I could not go back to the way that I was eating ever again. And that was the day that I decided that I was going to become a vegan. So from that, from going cold turkey, mind you, now I'm just cold turkey with it. I'm a cook. I know how to cook. So that wasn't an issue for me at the time, you know, because most men don't know how to cook. So for me, being the youngest of five, you know, I was always in the kitchen with my mother. You know, I went off to college, and then I kind of honed my skills a little bit more. And then, you know, other things happened in life that really put me in a position where I had to cook. So I'm a very, if you haven't seen some of my videos, I should be doing more cooking videos, but I don't. But you know, I can cook, so it wasn't difficult for me to transition from not putting meat into the dishes. It was easier for me to subtract meat or things that I perceived as unhealthy out of my diet and just stick to what I knew growing up with my mom and, you know, my grandmother. So with that being said, that was my first real introduction into the plant-based life. So I went vegan for about 2 years. Then I went vegetarian, and eventually, this is where I'm at now. I'm a pescatarian, where I eat seafood, but every now and then, well, every 6 months, I do either a raw challenge for myself, and then I implore people on YouTube to join in with me, or I do a juice fast where for 6 to 7 days I'm just drinking juice, water, and coconut water, which led me to really my YouTube journey. When the pandemic hit, I felt that I had to do something to help my people. And people had always wondered, oh, Jamil, how did you lose the weight? I said, I juice. Well, what did you juice? And I give them recipes. I've passed out recipes. Oh, Jamil, can you just juice for me? No, I can't juice for you. Oh, Jamil, can you juice for me? I'll give you this amount of money. No, I don't want to juice for you. So what I did was I started my YouTube platform so that I could bring all my recipes that I had learned to the platform, so that people wouldn't have to ask me. All they would have to do is just follow the simple instructions that I had laid. I pretty much gave them the blueprint to what I did to start, you know, my journey into being a lot healthier than where we are now, especially in the time of the pandemic, when one of the key words were boosting your immune system, boosting your immune system, boosting your immune system, eating right, having the proper diet and things of that nature. So I felt that was the perfect segue into me starting my YouTube channel and helping people to become my people, to become a little bit healthier, and bring to them the information about juicing and how powerful it can be to your life and the life of the people around you. So that's my story in 23 minutes.
Thank you so very much.
Amazing story.
Absolutely. Thank you so very much.
No
Yeah.
problem.
So if you're not connected with Juicing with Jay, please go over and check out his channel. I don't know I don't know what's happening. I don't know if I did something. I don't know if I'm timing people out.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I don't know what I did, Grandma. I don't know why that is doing that. Did I do something, Lashes?
No, I don't think you do something.
Oh, is that okay? I'm not sure what happened.
No, everything looks good. I think
Okay.
she's the one probably typing that.
Oh, okay. But thank you so very much, Juicing with Jay. Chat, if anyone has any comments for Jay, please go ahead and drop those. Let's see. Triple threat. TI. Block them. at Yaya's Best Life. The type N word. What?
Oh, she said it's a troll.
Oh, okay. So how do I get rid? So just a oh, you doing it on your end?
Yeah,
You got it.
yeah.
Okay,
I
Tim's
think
got it.
that it's taken care of because I don't see it anymore.
Oh, Nightbot's doing it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's not very nice. Okay. Anyway, as I was saying, chat, if you have any comments or any questions for Jay, please go ahead and drop those down, and I'll get. Oh wow, I will ask him those comments as we come back around. So, Robin, would you like to go next and tell your story?
Sure. Boy, I resonated a lot with what Jay said. My journey was,
I don't.
you know, I knew that I was gaining, okay? But it kind of ticked me off when people started saying it. You know, you have those people who are associated with your family who think they have the right to tell you that, ooh, girl, you sure are gaining weight. You know, well, it just made me defiant, you know, and rather than saying, I need to do something about it, oh, I got worse with it. You can't tell me what to do. So it basically, I had to get to a point where I was tired of
Yes.
being where I was. And when I got to that point, that's when I started to do something different. And it was at work, we had a health day where they would take your blood pressure and do other health things. And they took my blood pressure and I had no symptoms. And my blood pressure was so high that they said, do you feel okay? Do you need to sit down? And I was like, no, I'm fine. You know, I mean, I think I'm 5'3". Let me just start there. I'm 5'3", and I think I was 189 then. So I was still cute. So anyway, I thought I was still cute. Anyway,
I relate.
I didn't know. I didn't know, you know, and so they told me to call my doctor immediately. I was like, oh, okay. So I called and I said, I don't know why they're telling me to call you. I feel fine. But they said my blood pressure is whatever. I don't remember now. And they said, do you feel fine? Are you okay to drive? Can you get here immediately? I was like, yeah, I'm fine. I'll get there. So I did. And they immediately put me on high blood pressure medicine. Who knew? So I was predisposed to high blood pressure, and that from, you know, a family member. So that's where I said, okay, enough is enough, chick. So that's when I started to do everything, you know, like Jay. I did everything that was supposedly healthy. Everything he named, I did that and more. I even went as far as fen-phen. And that just did not work for me, you know, because first of all, I'm a foodaholic. I am truly a foodaholic. I think about food when I'm going to bed and when I wake up. So it's the first thought on my mind, really. So I had to redirect those efforts. So into something that I could do that wasn't so destructive for me, you know. And as Jay said, I am not a professional. This is just my journey. So I tell you, who doesn't love Oprah, huh? So when Oprah started getting on TV, And talking about Weight Watchers, I was like, well, that's my girl. So that was the avenue for me, because the second someone tells me I cannot have a certain thing, I will obsess. I will obsess until the point where it's nothing else can get through my head. It was like, oh, wait a minute. You're telling me I can't have rice? Oh no, rice? Rice is huge for me. My people are from Louisiana, so that's the first way for me to fail, is tell me I can't have grits and rice. So I had to find a way around that so I could have what I wanted within moderation, and still succeed for me. And so this was my avenue, and this was what works for me.
Okay. Thank you. Robin and I worked together when I lived in Washington State. So we have a similar experience. That same thing happened with me.
I think we were together.
Yeah, at work, and they have those little things set up. And same thing happened with me. They was like, you need to leave here immediately. You need to go to your doctor. My blood pressure was so high. And I did. And I remember sitting in the doctor's office, and tears started to drop. And I said to her, I was like, okay, I didn't want to go on any medication. And so I was like, in that moment, it was like, okay, I'll do better. I'm going to eat right. I'm going to start exercising more, da, da, da. And she just looked at me, and she just shook her head, and she says, right now, you need to do this. And then if you can work yourself into doing better, then we'll wean you off of it, we'll this or we'll that. But sometimes doctors kind of know you ain't did it by now, you might not do it. And that was several years ago. And so this is going to lead me into Lashes, because her journey, I'll let her tell her journey, but in other lives, she has talked about as well the medications and what she's doing. And I've heard other stories from other people about being able to work with their doctor and backing them off of high blood pressure medications. But it's here, and it's what you're going to do in order to get off of it. Because for some people, if you don't do the other work for your own longevity, I'm not a doctor, but it would be in one's best interest probably to keep doing their medication. But if you're going to do the work, as she's going to tell you her story, then you can work with your doctor to kind of back yourself off of it. So I will now turn it over to you, Lashes.
Hi, everyone. Hey, Jay. Hey, honey. I forget your name. What's your name again? Hi there.
Robin.
Hey, Robin. Mr. Robin. Hey, yes, thank you for having me. Hey, everyone in the chat. I'm a little bit hoarse. Allergy. So my name is Kerisha, otherwise known as Lashes Journey. And let's see where to start. I'm going to start back from 2029 because it's a long story. I'm going to keep it as compact as I can and short. So let's see, fast forward to 2019, just as Jay, I went on a cruise. And before I went on the cruise, I always struggle with weight. I've been trying to lose weight forever. I do everything, all the diets you can think of, everything, all the doctor pills, the injection to lose weight, everything. And I would lose some. And I'm sorry, the kid's making noise in the background. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
I'll lose it, but then I gain it back and gain more. So I did even the key.
You're okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Kids, screaming in the background. So I did the keto as well. I lost weight on it, but then you go back to the sugar or the fruits and you gain it back and some. So it's like up and down, So in 2019, I went on a cruise for I think 5-7 days. I eat all you can because before I go on the cruise, a lot of my friends.
Lashes, can I butt in just for 1 second?
Sure.
sorry, I meant to do it in between Jay and Robin. Welcome in to all of those new that have joined J and S. I saw Lala in here. If I saw some other people come in, and I apologize. Cruising is fun anytime. Thank you guys so very much for joining. We're having a very amazing conversation in regards to healthy eating. And so welcome in, Fifi. Thank you so very much for coming in. She says, hello, host, panel, and chat. We appreciate you guys being here. So I'm going to turn it back over to Lashes to continue.
Thank you. So in 2019, I went on a cruise. But before I went on the cruise, I have friends, a lot of friends was doing cosmetic surgery where, the mommy makeover where, you do the liposuction or the tummy tuck, a breast lift and all that, the whole 9 yards. So, your friends are doing it and everybody around you like, okay, they look really good. I don't have to do this because I've been struggling with weight. So I'm like, this is going to be easy. So before I went on the cruise in 2019, I set up an appointment with a cosmetics surgeon and everything. So when I went on the cruise, I was eating everything because I'm like, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna do the surgery, and the more fat you have on your stomach, the better it is. So you can take it from your stomach, put it in your butt, and I'm like, okay, so I'm eating. I was greedy anyway. Well, like that was an excuse to eat more. So I was just eating and chilling. So when I came off the cruise, I gained 12 pounds, I believe. I was 12 pounds heavier. 12 pounds. Because as Jay said, it's buffet and yeah, the food don't really taste good, but I'm telling you, everything tastes good to me because I was just greedy. So, yeah. So when I get back home now, I'm like, okay. So I went to my doctor's appointment and everything. So, you show them where you want them to cut out and where you want them to put the fat and where you want to, what size you want, and all that. So I went ahead and did all that. So now you have to do a complete CBC scan where it scans all your blood. I'm sorry. So, so when I do my blood work, it stopped me in my track. The blood work come back that my platelet was high. Everything was okay, but the platelet was high. I'm like, oh my goodness, what is platelet? So I went to the doctor and they're like, so I went to my primary care doctor and, she had me do another scan. So when I do it, it still was high. So it came back high. So when we look in the chart, it was high, a few years ago, it was, high. So I'm like, oh, Lord, get depressed now. So I'm like, okay. And that was 2019, and I'm sorry, my husband calling me. So after that, I decided, I got to do right. I start Googling, you start diagnosing yourself and everything. So still wasn't eating right. They put me onto a hematologist. Hematologist is what deal with the blood. So when your blood platelet is high, your blood can clot at any moment. You can have a heart attack or a stroke if you have a blood clot and it go in your lungs or make it waste to your brain. So that's not good. So I start going to this hematologist where I go every 3 months. I'll go and they'll just scan your blood, run your blood. They say take a baby aspirin and keep living.
You want to go ahead and take that?
All right, thank you.
But yeah, that was my same story too, going to the doctor and when they do that blood work on you and everything, and they start telling you all about, what you need to do for yourself. So yeah, it can be pretty scary.
Yeah.
For me, I realized that diets, they just don't work. You just have to commit yourself to a lifestyle change.
Yeah.
And if you're not willing to commit yourself to the lifestyle change, you'll forever be yo-yoing in your health issues. Because the goal is to get rid of the issue. It's not to prolong life. It's to get rid of whatever it is. And even on my page, I talk about it's my journey. I'm still in the journey.
Oh,
The journey never ends. It's just you learn how to modify, you learn how to move around. but you're always mindful of what it is that you're putting into your body. You're always thinking about, okay, is this the best thing for me, and what can I do that's a little bit better? I mean, the food tastes so delicious these days, is that, and like I said, it's just out there that it's not always easy to make the right decisions. But if you're making the right decision, if you're making the right decisions, at least 85 to 75% of the time, you're doing good, because you need to have that wiggle room, like Robin said, when someone tells you that you can't have something, even as a kid, you want it even more. And as adults, because we can't have it and no one can stop us from having it, we're going to go for it. So it's about putting yourself in the mind state that, okay, if I could at least do 85% all the time, the other percentages, I'll be okay as long as at least 85, and try to increase your percentages. If I could do it 90% of the time, the 10%, I'm okay with that. But I'll let Lashes jump back in.
Thank you. So true, Jay. And I'm so, so sorry about that.
No worries.
Yeah. Timing always not a good time, right?
Hey, that's life. Don't even worry about it. Yes.
My phone didn't ring all day.
That's the way.
But once I go live, so I'm sorry about that, guys. So where was I? So I start going to the hematologist, and they said, just take a baby aspirin and keep on living. Something you just can't explain, because they did every test they can. They're running all kind of tests. Everything come up okay, but the platelet is high. They even my insurance even flew me to the Mayo Clinic in Jacksonville to do a bone marrow biopsy. Everything come back okay, but the platelet is high. So going to the doctor and everything, I come to the conclusion that maybe one day I'm just gonna drop out. You never know. It's a road for everybody. So I went and get a will, and I write my will, and you just preparing. I went and I take out some couple life insurance on myself, just make sure, because I have a 1-year-old baby, and if anything happened to me, I know my husband is gonna have to quit his job and stuff like that. So I start getting life insurance, and I start preparing, just making sure that everything is okay home. Like if one day, because when I go to the doctor, it's no hope. It's like, just keep living. If you're feeling you have an heart attack, just go to the ER. And that's it. Yeah. So my mother-in-law, she told me about this place where it's a naturopathic place. It's holistic. It's a lifestyle center. It's called YouTube Pine. She told me about it, and my husband told me about it. So after I decided I'm gonna go there, but I have to save up the money to go there.
All right.
Sorry, guys, my busy life with kids.
No worries.
So I have a 1-year-old. So I was eating and doing whatever, but then I realized I can't continue living like this. So I spoke to So what I did, I called before I went in. I called, and the doctor, he told me, the holistic doctor, they told me the aspirin, is bad for your heart. So he's like, turmeric and garlic does the same thing as aspirin. So, before I went in, I talked to him, and I'm like, okay. So I started taking the turmeric, garlic, and I started eating better about 3 months before I went in. So I went back on my doctor's visit when I go back, because, your platelet run between 150 to 400,000. That's a normal range for your platelet. Mine was 700, 800, double. So the last time I went in, my platelet went down to 444. It was just 44 off after drinking the garlic and the turmeric religiously. So I'm like, so the doctor, before she do it, she said to me, she said, "How are you feeling?" I said, "I'm good." She said, "What are you doing different?" I said, "Nothing really." She said, "You know what your number is today?" I'm like, "No." So she said to me, "Whatever you're doing, continue doing it." And when she read the number to me, I'm like, "Oh my goodness, thank you, Jesus." So that was it. So I decided, okay, let me go to this place. So when I went to this place, Uchipine, it is. I didn't know it was a plant-based place I'm going or a vegan place. I just know I'm going here for healing. People go there with, cancer, sugar, you name it, everything. People there for. So when I went there, they put us on 3-day fasting, no eating for 3 days. That was it was hard for me when they just tell me you're not gonna eat until Friday. I'm like, what?
Mhm.
I didn't think I could do it, but I did it. And the food that they were cooking, it's vegan, no sugar, no nothing, no oil, and it tastes so good. So, you
Lashes,
know,
I remember when you first started there because she was recording, going live when she was there. And I wasn't sure what the story was and why you were there or whatever, but I was just watching your lives. And so,
oh,
yeah, I've
thank
walked that
you.
walk with you the whole time of you starting out there and then making the changes to where you are now. So go ahead.
Thank you, and I appreciate it so much. And when I realized, the other day I went on the scale, I'm over 40 pounds down because my weight was like 225, and when I go on the scale the other day, I'm at like 85, 80, 185, 184. I'm like, oh my god. And I wasn't watching the weight because I get comfortable with my weight after I stopped trying to lose weight, after I find out about my platelet, I stopped trying to lose weight and I'm just trying to live. It makes sense? I was
Yeah.
Yeah.
just trying to stay alive. I'm like, I don't worry about no weight no more. So I realized the weight going and everything with the plant base. So it's like, oh my goodness, the weight is going now, and everything. I start feeling, I was in pain. And before I went to that place, I was just I stopped breastfeeding, so my breasts they were hard and a lump and a lot of pain. But I always feel pain in my shoulder, in my back sometimes, And ever since I went to this place, there's no pain in my body. My blood pressure was high. I didn't even know I have high blood pressure because I was ignorant to a lot of things. I didn't know over 120 was high, so or over 90. So my blood pressure was running like 90 over 130, 125, 130. And now my pressure went down while I was at the lifestyle center. My pressure went down to 76 over 110, 17. And now I still maintain that same blood pressure reading with
Wow.
the food that I'm eating. Yeah. And it's like, it's it's amazing. I can't believe it. It's like, wow. It's and I didn't go to be plant based because I have my fridge filled with beef and fish right now. My family don't like fish, so I can't cook it. They don't like fish, so I'm gonna give it to somebody. But I'm not eating it. I come back home and I just implement the same thing that I used to do at the lifestyle center in my life, and everything. Even my B12 was 800 with the first blood work that I did when I went to the lifestyle center. It was 800. Before I leave, it went to 1400. And the doctor was like, wow. And people say you can't get B12 from plant based. You only can get it from meat. You were living proof that and everything. My energy is up. Everything, the weight going. I feel more energy. I can keep up with my kids. It's it's a blessing. That's all I can say. To God be the glory because I couldn't do it by myself. I think I know God is with me and He's doing it with me and for me because I can't do it by myself. I'm weak. I don't know how I give up sugar just like that. Just no sugar, nothing at all, no oil. It's only God. That's all I can say. And my
So what
numbers, my
what do
blood
you
went
what
down.
do you eat? So are you totally plant-based? You just eat
Yes,
veggies?
totally.
You eat no
Yes,
meat?
no meat at all.
No meat.
Mm-mm. No sugar at all.
And Jay is pescatarian. And
Yes.
Robin, you
No, I,
but your balance is different.
my,
How you eat to keep your weight down.
my thing was a total, I don't deny myself. Okay.
Mhm.
Because the second I deny myself, I know who I am because I'm going to go all out I'm gonna lose my loving freaking mind if I start denying myself. So it was an exchange. I mean, in my family, we eat rice for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Okay, so okay, how do I still have this but not lose my mind on it, you know, because I can just eat rice with nothing on it. So
Me too.
it was a matter of changing out that white rice for brown rice, you
Yes.
know,
Nice.
reducing the amount of rice. Maybe if I do have white rice, I'm only going to have a quarter of a cup of rice with my red beans, you know. So, and then the brown rice is more nutritious for you and all of that stuff. And it helps with your cholesterol and all of that stuff. So, that's one of the things. I changed from having fried catfish to air fried catfish, you know, so it was a mindset change.
Yeah.
That's a
So
beautiful
So
go
thing.
ahead.
And that's where it all starts. All starts with the mindset. You have to change your mindset. Once you change your mindset, it's really kind of easy for everything else to follow. And like Les just said, 3 days without eating, I've done 7 days. And with me, one of the major things that changed my life that caused me a lot of pain was the migraine headaches. And once I changed my eating, I haven't had a migraine headache in 10 years. If it is a migraine headache, there's a specific thing that set it off. Either it's a real strong scent, because even the things like when you learn that you have to change how you put things into your body, it's not even only the things you put in your body but on your body. So like the unnatural scents and things of that nature, those could also be triggers for your body. Putting on too much perfume or too much of anything that's like really man-made can also be a trigger inside the body that we're not exposed to. We don't have the information to we don't have the information given to us that the things that we're actually putting on our bodies could be a part of what is affecting our body. Uh, so once you change your mindset, you start to look at everything around you, and of course, there's things in the environment that you just can't change, and that's why I believe that when you put superfoods or juicing, you're putting raw living energy into your body to help to combat a lot of the things that's going on in the environment. So my thing is like Lasha said, is that once you develop a mindset, and we've all said it, you have to kind of develop a certain type of mindset that this is not what I want anymore. This is what I want. It's kind of like in the substance abuse, right? Everybody have their own rock bottom. For you, you have to find what your rock bottom is before you say I'm tired of this and I want to change my life. So that's how it is when you deal with your health. You have to find your rock bottom. For Lashes, she said, forget about the weight gain. I want to live. That was her rock bottom. For me, knowing that, I'm snoring loud enough to like wake the dead, and everybody's complaining, friends and family, when we go on, because I travel a lot. Friends and family are like, oh my god, we couldn't even sleep last night because of your excess snoring. That's kind of like my rock bottom, to know that now my weight gain has affected everybody else's by not being able to sleep when we go try to enjoy a vacation, right? So certain things, we have to have the mindset, and once you have that mindset, it's a powerful ally to help you in your journey going forward.
Absolutely. And you know what's so amazing about this conversation here is we have three different people, well, four different people here. One thing that I will say is each individual, you have to know yourself. You have to know your own body. And each one of us have done something different. All of our stories are different at where we're going. For me, my mindset is I know I need to do more. I know I need to do better. I'm at an age where, I want to reduce. I want to make sure I have a longer longevity. So, like I said, for me, Monday and Wednesday, I've made that our healthy eating day. What it has led to since we've been doing this is even on Tuesday, I'm still trying to do something that's healthy. I'm not just, going straight up cheat day, Now maybe Thursday I might do a little something, something. Okay. So it's your mindset and gradually moving yourself forward in whatever it is that you need to do, So I say that to the chat to say what Lashes is doing, I might not be able to do, or what Jay's doing, I might not be able to do, or how Robin does it, I'm not. So you can't go really and copy somebody. You got to know your own mind, your own body. And you have to work, if you need to work with your doctor or whatever, do your research and put your own plan together that works for you. Would you guys disagree?
I totally,
No,
I
not
agree. In the beginning of my story, I pretty much stated how I was working out with friends that, they were always into sports and they knew what they were doing for their bodies and what they needed to do. I didn't know anything. I kind of went in blind. It wasn't until I had to sit down and decide, hey, like, what direction are you trying to go in? What are you trying to do? It wasn't until I sat down and learned my own body. Yes, we could learn from Yaya, we could learn from Ebony, we could learn from Lashes, but at the end of the day, we all have different makeup. We have totally different styles, right? But the thing is like if I could pull a little bit from Yaya, if I could pull a little bit from Lashes and pull a little bit from Ebony or Robin, my bad, Robin. If I could pull a little bit from the people who are trying to move in the same direction that I'm moving in, and take that information from myself and move forward with my own way of doing things, I know that I have a little bit of Yaya, I have a little bit of Lashes, I have a little bit of Robin, and that information is vital. And that was another reason why my motto for my page is each one teach one, because there's some people that might not be able to drink juice because they might have some type of diabetes issue or things of that nature. But if you can't drink juice, you can make a smoothie. There's pros and cons to juicing. I'm not going to go into pros and cons of juicing because that's where the research comes in. You have to be able to want to receive that knowledge, not because I'm giving it to you or telling you, but because you're truly interested enough to say, look, I want to make a change. What are the differences between juicing and making a smoothie? There's a big difference, but I'm not going to tell you, because if you want that information, you're going to go out there and get that information yourself. It always starts with you taking that first step forward. There's an old two proverbs. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. And the other one is, if you give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. But if you teach him how to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime. And
Absolutely.
those are, and what we're doing right now is, to me, I feel like we're not giving you a fish, but we're giving you the information that you will have for a lifetime so that you can take it forward. This is lifetime information, because even after I'm gone, or if I decide to disappear from the YouTube platform, you would still be able to refer back to some of the juice recipes, or you could refer back to this conversation. Oh, I remember Lashes said X, Y's, and Z. Oh, I remember Yaya said X, Y's, and Z's. Oh, I remember Robin said X, Y's, and Z's. These are basically, once again, we're given the blueprint so that you could be successful in your journey. Our journeys are our journeys. Your journey is your journey. That's why I welcome Lashes into my journey, and I'm hoping to welcome Robin into the journey. And Yaya, you're already a part of the journey, because I went and got a Ghost Burger Beyond Ghost, Ghost Burger. You know what I mean? Of course, I had to take that swine off, but I said I'll try this. Ghost pepper. You got, and that's what the community is about, is grabbing from each other's journey, learning and taking it and going forward. I don't expect everybody to just, like I said, juice like me, because you might not be able to juice like me. You might not be plant-based like you might not be able to do a weight program or like Robin, but you could probably do a little bit of something from any one of us, and figure out your path, your journey, and we could encourage you to, hey, keep on going strong. Even we had Bessie at Journey talking about her journey, and that,
Yeah.
to me, coming and listening to you guys in your journey makes me want to continue in my journey, because a couple months ago I had a couple of health issues totally unrelated to weight loss, something that kind of just really came out left field. And I said to myself, man, I've been doing all this healthy eating and blah, 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 X, Y's, and Z's, been denying myself this chicken that I've been wanting for 10 years. I said, I might as well go back to, eating my chicken. But then I see Lash's journey and how well she's doing. And I see that Yaya is trying to, get on a healthy path. And then now I'm meeting Robin. It's like, no, just keep on doing what you're doing, because whatever issues you have now could have been way worse if you weren't eating the way that you were eating, or if you weren't taking care of
Amen.
the way that you were taking care of yourself. So I had to look at it from that perspective. So with that being said, we all have our journeys, but it's up to us as individuals to add on to the journey and take what we want and leave the rest. And that's how I view it, and I do agree with it.
And if I may,
Yes.
and we've kind of all said it here, and that is, you have to figure out what your why is.
Yes.
It might not be because you have a health situation, as all of us have had. It might be for another reason, but you have to figure out what your why is, and
Yes.
what you're willing to, just as Jay has said, what you're willing to do to get to your place of where you need to be.
Yes, absolutely. And Lashes, we've come up on almost our hour. So Jake recapped and appreciate all his good wisdom, and Robin just did. Lashes, did you have any thing you want to summarize to the chat?
Yeah, and just like Robin and Jay, they already said it all, and yes, you have to know your why. You just and you can learn from anybody. It's like um, as Jay said, just take out the meat and spit out the bone. Because and do your research, because with me and going plant based, it's now I look at meat or whatever, I don't crave it, because I get I'm researching every day and getting the knowledge, and what they put in these meats, or what how everything was processed, and whatever what everything goes through. Sugar, I know what it does to your body, so it's not like I'm gonna crave it. No, I know, I see what it's doing in real time. I see the documentaries. I see what the oil does to your arteries. I see, so it's like I don't crave it, because I look at it and I'm like, gosh, I don't need that. So it's just like you just gotta know your why and educate yourself. Do your research, as Jay said. Do your research, because I'm home now, and even though I know what I know, every day I'm doing research. Every day I'm searching for stuff, on this. Let me see what this is good for. And I do a lot of herbal. I'm from the island. I'm from Jamaica, so I grew up on herbal teas. It's like your head hurts you back home, your parents give you a tea for the headache. Your stomach hurts you, they give you a different tea for that. It's like everywhere hurt, you get a herb for something. So I grew up on the herbal medicine, so that's what I'm used to. So, and I spoke to a doctor about a year ago on Kwame Brown show. I know you know Kwame Brown online. So I spoke to a doctor, a health doctor back there like a year ago or over a year. And I talked to him, I told him about my platelet before I talked to these holistic doctor. He was a juicer as well, like Jay was a doctor, but he, do juice. And I went on the live and I tell him my issues, and he said, get back to your roots. Girl, you from Jamaica, I hear a Jamaican accent, get back to your roots. Stop taking them pill and get back to your roots. And that's all he said to me. He said, get back to your roots. And that's it, get back to the roots, and I'm planting my own. If you look in my backyard, I have banana, I have yam. Jay just sent me some dragon fruit, all different varieties. And, what you call the other thing, Jay?
Pom-
Pomegranate.
yeah, pomegranate.
I
Oh,
appreciate it so much because when I did my research back then in 2019, pomegranate was one of the thing that lower your platelet.
Mm.
It thinnens your blood. I'm like, what? So when you send me that pomegranate, I'm telling you, God work in mysterious ways. So thank you for that because now I have the pomegranate tree growing out there. I have, a lot of stuff. And, I have everything. My broccoli in the backyard, my peppers. I plant everything. So as I said, just you have to know your why, as Miss Robin said, your why. And my why was my 1-year-old baby. I'm in my 40s and I start life all over again. I already have 3 grandbabies. I have son 24, but I have a 1-year-old baby. And one day I sit down and I look, I'm like, I gotta stop eating the way I eat because it's so unfair for him to grow up without a mother. And the other kids, they grow up with their mommy, but then he didn't grow up with their mama because I ain't my life to the grave. So I'm like, I gotta, and that's why I even went to Utropine because, I said, let me go take care of me. I drop everything I was doing and take 17 days. I'm like, I gotta get my mind right. I gotta get right. Because I was going down the road of depression because the doctor, obviously, they can't help me.
yeah.
They said, just take a baby aspirin and keep living. And that's no hope. You might have a heart attack one day. That's bad,
Yes.
So my why
Yeah.
was my baby. So guys, as they said, you got to know your why and just keep living and keep doing you, whatever makes you, happy. And I want to live till I'm 110.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you for
There's a
having me.
question. There's a question in the chat. Let's see. You News asking to the panel: is olive okay to cook with, as far as health? Uh, Somebody had.
Yes.
Oh, it was Cynthia said. You knew grapeseed oil is better. It can break down. It don't break down from the heat. So, do you guys have any thoughts on that? On using? I think she's asking about olive oil, maybe.
To be honest with you, those are the type of things. And when I say do your research, those are the type of things that you would want to research yourself. Information on oils change all the time. Once upon a time, it was coconut oil is the best oil to use. Once upon a time, it's olive oil. Once upon a time, it's avocado oil. So the information changes all the time. For me, I use olive oil. Uh, I don't do a lot of frying. I do mostly sauteing, and for me, that's what I use is olive oil. But once again, that's just what I do. But the information changed because at one point, coconut oil was the best thing to use, and as you heard Lasha say, no oil is the best thing to use. So different schools of thought, right? So when I say, when we decide to cross over into the journey, we are just a kind of like a stepping stone into the real research that you have to do on your own because information changes all the time.
So true.
So
So
true.
true, yes. And I still, I still use a little olive oil if I need to saute something because my family, I still cook for my family, so I have to cook for them. So it's, I just don't use it. I air fry everything I do for me, but I still cook for them. And, even today I cooked for my husband, it was white rice. And I end up have 2 or 3 spoons of that white rice. Boy, I heard that rice calling my name.
Oh man, you know, it,
I
I
want
did
to
eat a couple spoons of that white rice.
I want
it's
to go back to something that Jay said, and that's what you topically put on your body too can affect you. Um, just a story, just a little bit about me, as in most of you here are shades of color. Okay, um, and my shade of color is extremely dry. So I started investigating the things that people were putting into the topical products. We were putting more and more stuff on to get rid of our ash, you know? And so I was like, this is not working. So I went back to natural things as far as what I put on my body topically. And I had to start making my own stuff because it was just, it was, my skin was hurting. My actual skin was hurting. I didn't have open lesions or anything, but just to touch, my skin would hurt from the dryness and everything. So, I was like, okay, well, let me do it myself to so I'll know what's in it. Because if you look at soap, it doesn't say soap, it says detergent bar. But I'm not going to get it off in that tangent because that's a whole nother topic. But I just wanted to agree with you on that.
And I'll back up Robin on the fact that she has delved into that because she has been making her own soap for some time. So yeah, she knows all those details about what the soap out there on the market has and about her going natural with it. So that's the research.
Yellow.
You on the phone, Robin?
Hold on.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I am.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
So yeah, she knows the details about that. So if anyone is interested, as Jay said, that's something to do your research on if you need to go natural with soap. But
there's wire wrought iron gates at the bottom of the driveway.
She thought she muted us.
Yeah, I muted her.
Well, you're right. Just as you said.
I went to a seminar a few years back, and the whole seminar was based on outside pathogens that we put onto our body that causes our bodies to pretty much malfunction. And that's why, I brought that to the chat, because a lot of us, we don't understand that, some of those perfumes that we wear, those unnatural things that we wear, contributes to some of the health problems that we have. For me, like I said, I had severe headaches, and once I started to eat right, I could start to now accurately pinpoint where certain headaches were coming from. And a lot of my headaches were coming not only from what I was eating, too much the salt, the MSG, too much MSG, but it was the Calvin Klein cologne and the Polo cologne and all that stuff. And we're taught to put those things in hot spots, which are behind the ear, which is close to your nose, and then you're bringing it in. Yaya is laughing, right? Because spots, right? So
I wanted to say something that I can't say, but yeah, okay, I'm tracking.
Yeah, but behind the ear and things of that nature. But the ear is close to the nose, so now you're inhaling whatever those chemicals are into your nose. And it's not even things about as far as colognes. It's even they talked about feminine hygiene products that women use, and some of the chemicals that leak from those feminine hygiene products into certain parts of your bodies. So there's an attack basically on the whole body. So there are a lot of things that we actually have to pay attention to when it comes down to our health, not just what we put in, but on the body. So yeah, I'm glad that, Robin kind of brought that back up again, because it's something that we don't often talk about. What are the outside pathogens that we're putting onto our bodies as we move through life?
Absolutely.
So true, Jay. So true. And I don't use deodorant. I tell people that I stopped using deodorant and lotion, all that stuff. I don't use it on my skin because it goes straight to your bloodstream. And I noticed back then when I used to use deodorant, like 2 years ago, I would get lumps under my arm. Like, those little lump would come and then go away. So that's why I stopped using it. And I tell people that all the time. And when you stop eating certain things, you don't have to use deodorant.
You okay?
Okay.
But all of that, what Jay had just said, brings me around to, I've been out circling around in the gardening community and triple threat as well, the preparedness community. And what you find is, get yourself prepared for things, especially with the gardening people and the homesteaders. They're out there doing their thing. They're growing their own stuff. So therefore, they know what they are intaking in their mouth. And same as Jay and Robin just said about what we put on the outside of our body as well. So absolutely. What this was just,
Sorry about that. I had to mute.
oh, I muted you.
Okay.
But no, thank you. So I'm just so ecstatic about this conversation that we had. We're over our hour, so I don't want to keep the panelists any longer than what I said. But I hope I hope each and every one of you enjoyed this conversation. I know I did. I know it has been amazing, and it's given me a boost. I was already trying to do a little something. And so now tomorrow I will do better. And Jay, regarding that Burger King burger, yeah, I did at least ask for the plant-based meat with it, but I forgot. And somebody in my comments said, and so that bacon that you had on there, I forgot I should have had that bacon removed. But the mindset is, when I went in there, my thought was, I would really rather not have the bun. I would really rather have this on lettuce. But part of doing the whole review was, oh, Tim said I could have gave the bacon to him, but the thing was to have the orange bun. So I did fail on that regard, but I was, it's in my head and I'm working forward.
And that's all we can do. And like you said, Robin said, don't deny yourself. I saw you eating it. And I said, okay, I'm gonna go try the impossible meat. But they didn't have the orange buns. And then
It could have been a whole lot worse. You could have had two
no, I don't
of pork.
You're gone too far, Biggs. But the thing is that because I'm real particular on where I eat. I opened that bun. I opened to see what was in there. Then that's when I saw the bacon hiding in there. So I had to take that bacon out, that swine, and throw it to the side. But it was a delicious burger, though. I mean, it's not something that I eat all the time, but it's life's little pleasures, and those are the things that kind of make the journey a little bit better. I'm putting up air quotes. Your cheat day. So, and that was my only meal that I had for that particular day. That was the only thing that I had. So, yeah, I mean, don't deny yourself and, find a rhythm. My thing is just find something that will work for you, but understand that if you're in the journey of losing weight and trying to get healthy, that it's a lifestyle change. These don't work. That's if you the more you educate yourself, the more you will understand that diets don't work. You have to do a lifestyle change. I started my lifestyle change 10 years ago, and even when I don't exercise, I'm still able to maintain the weight that I have, just because I know that I'm eating 99.9% of the time. I'm eating a healthy meal full of plants and fruits and things of that nature. So that's pretty much it from my end. And if you go on my page, I have a 2-part video where we're pretty much discussing the same thing that me and you are discussing, where all of us are discussing. It's the same thing. This was how my journey started, and this is where I'm at in my journey. And every day I drop a new video. That's another day into my journey, so I will leave it right there.
Okay. Cynthia with MS says, thank you all for sharing your stories and knowledge in your walk of healthy living. Continue gaining the best wealth in life. Keep winning on purpose. Thank you so very much, Cynthia.
Thank you, Cynthia. I also want to send condolences out to Cynthia. Recently she had a post, so I still need to go up there to your GoFundMe account, Cynthia, and put something in there for her. So my condolences out to Cynthia and her family. Go and check out her community posts and get the information that you need to help that sister out if you possibly can.
Thank you. Okay, Jay. Miss B says, yes, Cynthia, I would like to know too, for my daughter's sake, and to find out something to use for her that's natural. Absolutely. You says you can't trust fast food places that plant-based food they cook on the same grill. That is true too. It's better if you cook at home. Thank you, Lashes from Cynthia. It's good to have another option. I use a rock of salt and it works. Welcome in, Sweet Ree. We've been having a wonderful conversation. Thank you for stopping in. And Sweet Ree says hi to everybody. I missed a lot of comments through here. You guys are talking to each other, so that was great. So I'm going to go ahead and thank Juicing with Jay. Thank my BFF in Washington State, Robin. And I thank Lashes. If you're not subscribed to Lashes Journey and or Juicing with Jay, please go out and search their YouTube name and subscribe to them. You will get some great content. Robin is not a YouTube content creator, but I was happy to have her on here because she's gone through a journey that I felt would provide you guys some good information. So.
All right. Thank you for having us, Yaya. It was a pleasure meeting you, Robin. And last
Pleasure meeting you too, you guys.
that link up, sister.
Yes, and we'll try and we'll set this up and do it again. Maybe once a month or something. We'll come back and see how everybody's doing and see if others that's in the chat would like to be a part of it as well and tell their stories as well. So again, I thank each and every one of you. Thank you, chat, so much. I'm sorry, Ezra and Rael, welcome in. Thank you guys so very much. Sweet Ree says, I will definitely catch the replay, just getting off from work. So yes, excuse me, if you're just coming in, please go and watch the replay. A wealth of knowledge by some very wonderful people here. So again, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday. And until the next video, deuces, y'all.
Bye-bye.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a good one.